get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Oh, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, yeah. Ooh, come on now.
Good morning, 25 minutes after 7 o'clock. It's Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019. Thank you for tuning to WOCA The Source. This show is called AM Ocala Live because we do broadcast live from the Paddock Mall just outside the WOCA commissary where you too can get a beer. There's a beer in there, Rob.
Yeah, you can.
I always forget about the beer.
You can get a beer.
54 degrees right now. Temperatures are expected to climb to 85. Sunny skies today. 54, the low again tonight. Tomorrow, repeat everything I just said. Make it a little bit warmer. Thursday, same as tomorrow. Friday, there's some rain mentioned, about a 77-degree high. But that's a short-lived rain, most likely in the early afternoon. And the weekend, look at this, 82 degrees on Saturday, 84 on Sunday. Only a slight chance of rain mentioned for Sunday. So nice couple of few days here as you enjoy living in Florida. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning, Larry.
How are you over there?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good over here.
Okay.
Oh, there's some
what's
more
that?
music happening. I don't know.
Oh, we got music. I like music.
Let's see, 7:35, yeah. You and I will talk about the news. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And keep it informal and offer opinions and open the phone lines and all the things that we don't do at 8:35, we do at 7:35.
Yes.
We do have a short visit with Galen this morning, 8:05. He'll be on with us, talking to us about, since it's short, maybe I'll change my mind about what we're talking about, so I'm not going to tell you anything.
Okay, all right.
I got a couple of things I planned. You know, when I see somebody coming on 8:20, I have to sometimes amend my plans. Kevin Condon is coming on at 8:20. He's the head of consumer deposits and small business products for the Bank of America. Yes, it does sound like an infomercial, but that's how we pay the bills, kids.
Exactly. We do have paid advertisers, which is cool, and we do have a lot of ungratis, so we balance it out.
You had to say that. And it's great. It's good stuff. Okay. Let's see, 8:35, News Bites. That's when we read the news, keep our opinions to ourselves, and then let you read the rest of the story if you're interested. Today's Tuesday, so Carol Ann Baldwin will be on at 9:05. She is the host of her show called In the Garden with Carol Ann. And I'm just looking outside. Look how nice it looks out there. Sorry.
It's beautiful.
10:05, Matt Gibbs. He's coming in to talk to us about our cars, because cars are cars all over the world.
Yes, they are.
Major Robert Paley is retired. He's a graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point and a whole bunch of more credentials. He's got a book called The Last Salute, The True Story of a West Point Cadet's Dream to Honor His Dying Father. Isn't the final salute what we used to call the ceremony over at the Veterans Park?
Right. The final salute, but this is the last salute.
I know.
Yeah, the final salute is what we call the... Well, you coined that phrase. It was good.
Dr. Eric Donenfeld is talking to us about our eye health, right?
Yep.
He's going to tell about an innovative treatment for post-operative inflammation following cataract surgery and the latest technological advances that will affect the future of drug delivery to the eye.
Yes.
We're delivering drugs to the eye now.
I guess so.
Ian...
Drone.
I know, I was thinking that too. I didn't want to go there.
Sorry.
Ian Dosher is coming on to talk to us about William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Mean Girls.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I love this. It's in a play in Shakespearean style. It's such fun.
And then on Midday with Joe, we've got a topic to talk to Joe about.
The story you are about to see
it will
is
be
true.
a true story.
The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Yeah. We're going to talk to Joe about things you should never say to a police officer.
Nice.
All right, we'll take a little break and we'll be right back. You're listening to The Source, WOCA, Ocala. Just the facts, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Just the facts. We'll be right back.
Dragnet.
Fox
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. President Trump this morning on Twitter taking aim at the New York Times and the author of an opinion piece which says the Mueller report shows the occupant of the White House betrayed his country. This as presidential hopeful Kamala Harris announces,
I believe Congress should take the steps towards impeachment.
Harris appearing on CNN Monday night for a town hall. Congressional leaders, though, not on board.
Speaker Pelosi held a nearly 90-minute conference call with more than 170 Democratic lawmakers where she acknowledged her party's divide over the issue, but reiterated that there are no immediate plans to move forward with impeachment.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. It's a national day of mourning in Sri Lanka in the wake of Easter Sunday attacks, which left more than 300 people dead. A top official there says the attacks were carried out in retaliation for the shooting massacre at 2 New Zealand mosques last month. This is Fox News.
Pros know getting the next job means doing this one right. On time and on budget. Lowe's is here to help by stocking the brands you trust to power through any job. Like Hitachi Power Tools, soon to be known as Metabo HPT. Same tools, same warranty, new name. We also stock the quantities of the supplies you use most. Buy in bulk and get additional savings on fence pickets, posts, and concrete every day. For your next job and every job after, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. See ProDesk for details.
This is your breakfast wake-up call from Panera Bread. Don't start your day with a greasy processed breakfast. At Panera, breakfast to go no longer means to settle. Wake up with their new maple glazed bacon, scrambled egg and cheese breakfast wrap. And pair it with their new Madagascar vanilla cold brew. All made 100% clean and ready to go with rapid pickup at the push of a button. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and that means compromising isn't an option. Panera, food as it should be.
Today would be a great day to visit Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. First thing to do is check the ad in the paper or go to bobwinescamelliagardens.net and pick out the best buys of the week. First up, crepe myrtles. Bob Wines leads the way with a buy one, get one at half price sale. Prices start at a super low $9.99 for smaller size and range up to $349 for a huge crepe myrtle, delivered, planted, and guaranteed. And yes, they're all buy one and get one at half price. Only at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. And listen to this, regular $12.99 ferns, including popular macho, holly, and foxtail ferns, just $8.99. Don't wait, get your share of this week's deals at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, daily till 4:30, Saturdays till 3, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. A Florida father chased down and shot a man who stole his car with his 6-year-old son inside. The 29-year-old suspect is in critical condition. The boy was not injured. Nearly 36 men and women have filed a federal class action lawsuit accusing authorities of unlawfully videotaping them as they received massages at the Orchids of Asia Day Spa in Palm Beach. SpaceX has suffered a serious setback to launch NASA astronauts after the fiery loss of its first crew capsule during testing over the weekend. A dive team has recovered the body of a tourist who went missing while snorkeling off a Florida Panhandle beach. Firefighters used the jaws of life to free a Rottweiler that got her head stuck in a cinder block in St. Johns County. 8 ducklings were rescued from a storm drain in Bonita Springs. And Disney is making changes to Rivers of Light. The nighttime show at Animal Kingdom will now feature characters from Disney nature films beginning May 24th. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Today will be a beautiful day. For Tuesday, lots of sunshine. The high 79 on the coast, but 86 inland. And Tuesday night, fair skies, lows in the mid to upper 50s inland, 63 along the coast. Another warm day on Wednesday with plenty of sunshine, high 83 at the coast, 88 inland. Thursday, partly sunny and very warm with a high of 84 at the coast, 89 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Thank you, Joe Lundberg. 25 minutes before 8 o'clock, another beautiful day in Ocala, Florida. Just look out your window or go outside and say, hey, Larry's telling the truth for a change. Look at that. I always tell the truth.
You always do. You don't fool anybody.
If I try to fool you, then give me 15 seconds and I'll say I'm just kidding. Only kidding. Only kidding. I like to wait 15 seconds. It's more impactful because you're not sure.
Yeah.
And if you know me, then you're looking at your watch going, wait a minute now. Mm-hmm. He said he saw a tornado last night, did he? 15 seconds later, he didn't say anything different. So it must be true.
Oh, my God.
All right, let's see. The phone lines are open if you want to call in. The number is 622-9622. And let's start on something on the light end. Oh, the Kentucky Derby is coming up. Let me do this
Yes,
real
it
quickly.
is.
Kentucky Derby is coming up May 4th.
Yeah, a week from Saturday.
So I just had something I wanted to share with you about the Kentucky Derby. We broadcast from the Paddock Mall, which sits on land that used to be a horse farm, right?
Yes.
The Rose, was it Rosewood or something?
Rosemere.
Rosemere, that sounds more like it, right? All right. So do you want to know how much money a Kentucky Derby winner actually gets?
Ooh, how much?
Okay, let's see. This year, this is a new article. The champion's purse is reported to be $3 million, which is the highest it's ever been.
Gosh.
$3 million. Divided among the top 5 finishers, it isn't actually the winning jockey who walks away with the majority of the money. It's the horse's owner.
Right.
The owner receives 62% of the total purse, while the jockey keeps 10% of that.
Okay.
All right.
So what about
So, for
the
instance, based on this year's $3 million total, the owner will receive the owner of the winner will receive $1.86 million. Of that, $186,000 goes to the jockey.
Okay. And then what happens to the other 38%?
Let's see. That take-home pay then gets whittled down even more. In an interview with CNN, Victor Espinoza, the jockey and Triple Crown winner American Pharaoh, revealed that about 25% of his money went to his agent and at least another 5% to his valet. Subtract taxes, and the winning jockey in 2019 could end up with less than $100,000 of the original $3 million.
There you go.
Yeah, you want to know about the rest of them, though.
Yeah, but I mean, the jockey probably is paid anyway, on top of in addition to the Kentucky Derby winner. I mean, I don't think those jockeys ride all of those horses for free.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So the owner must pay them money to ride the horse.
Anyway.
And then but what happened to the other 38%? You said the owner gets 62% of the purse, so there's 38% that's left over.
Maybe
Who
that
gets
goes. Maybe that goes to the second and third place winner.
Oh, that could be. Yeah, right. That makes sense if it's a $3 million purse. Maybe it does. This is interesting.
Interesting, but not complete enough, that article right there.
Yeah, but it's very, very interesting.
Okay. All right. Where's the rest? Where's the rest of the real news?
Yeah, but this is pretty exciting. I mean, we know people that have gone to the Derby, like Stacey Rollins and her husband, and they always dress the part and have those pretty hats, and the men wear those, derbies or the stovepipe hats, and they all look very spiffy, All
right.
I love looking at them.
And real quickly, one public service announcement. There's a bike ride to help mental health and post-traumatic stress disorder people through Vets Helping Vets.
Poker run.
What did I call it? A bike ride?
Ride.
A bike ride. Poker run, bike ride. Yeah.
Motorcycle.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There are bicycles.
These flyers really need to be written from me.
Those flyers need to be written more comprehensive for everybody.
No. I think the flyer's good. Here's why I think it's good, because it's a visual thing. You see right away it's a motorcycle, but when I read it, you can't tell it's a motorcycle. I just say a bike ride.
Yeah.
All right.
And they are referred to as bikes, but when it's, a fundraising, I know, we have to give a PSA 101 classes, I think.
Anyway, Saturday, May 18th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Registration begins at 9 a.m. at the Vets Helping Vets office at 2730 East Silver Springs Boulevard. The kickstands will be up at 10 o'clock. The last rider will be in at 2 p.m.
Yep.
It's $20 per bike, $5 for additional riders, $20 per vehicle, $5 per passenger.
There you go. We could be a part of that.
So we can take your
we could take our
SUV?
vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah.
You will stop at the VFW on Maricamp Road, the Fraternal Order of Eagles. Is that what the FOE stands for?
Yes.
On East Highway 40, the VFW on Northeast 36th Avenue, the 100 Proof Saloon on Pine Avenue.
There you go.
And Duffy's Bar and Grill on Highway 40.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There you go.
Nice. Poker run, May 18th for Vets Helping Vets.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Pretty cool.
I'm sure there's more information than that, and I'll find out what it is, or ask Joe to elaborate on it, right?
Yeah. There's...
All right, here's a story that our founding fathers would be happy to see. A man who was a dad who has a 6-year-old son was saying goodbye to some friends at 2:30 a.m., left the car running. Some guy gets into his car and takes off with it. So the father and his friends start chasing the guy. The guy crashes his car. They are able to get the 6-year-old out of the car. The guy takes off. The father shoots the guy. The guy is in critical condition. The guy had a previous arrest. He was on probation for carjacking an 86-year-old woman in 2016. So, they oh my gosh, the 6-year-old's okay. But you think about it, how scary was that moment right there, chasing this guy with his son in the back, in the car, probably in the back seat, right?
Exactly. I would hope so.
Oh my gosh. And then he crashes. He crashes the car with the son in the back seat. Isn't that just unbelievable?
Yeah, and hopefully that son was, strapped into a car seat and not just kind of left playing in the back seat.
Well, he said he wasn't hurt, so.
Yeah, and what's a 6-year-old doing up at 2:30 in the morning?
Oh my gosh, you're focusing on the wrong guy.
I know.
The bad guy is the guy who stole the car.
Yeah, I know.
The father was out with his friends, and the 6-year-old was with him.
Yeah.
So it got to be 2:30.
Yeah.
He's with his daddy. It's okay.
That's right. He's with his dad. His dad protects him. I think that was really good of him to chase that guy and then shoot him.
That massage parlor down in Palm Beach called the Orchids of Asia Day Spa is getting lots and lots of free publicity. And here's the twist to this one. Now, nearly 36 men and women have filed a class action lawsuit to prevent Florida authorities from releasing any videotape. Gosh, it's embarrassing enough for a man to be revealed as a guy, as somebody who paid for the happy ending.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you ladies, you. Oh, we have that. That's part of our thing. Everybody thinks, oh, he's a guy. He'll pay for that.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Nobody ever thinks of you ladies as paying for that.
Yeah, but I'll bet you throughout the years there have been women that have gone to those for happy endings.
Well, apparently it's part of this group right here.
There you go.
But I'm just saying, that the embarrassment factor if they release this tape.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at this.
The women.
Look at this. My friend pal. Oh my pal Phil or something. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. I'm trying to think of a name of nobody I know. I'm trying to think of a name of somebody I don't know. And I had a couple in my head. I almost said Joe. No, and it wouldn't be this Joe. And I was going to say Jack. Oh, I know Jack. I don't want it to be him.
Yeah.
So Phil. The only Phil I know is Phil Donahue and Dr. Phil.
Okay, there you go. You're safe.
But anyway, there's my friend Phil. But if I say, ooh, there's Phyllis.
There you go.
Ooh, there's Phyllis in that video. Holy mackerel. Oh, my gosh. The stigma. Oh, my gosh. Robin.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. This is good. I'm going to have to follow this story. I'm going to have to follow this story.
SpaceX, as you know, had an explosion of some sort the other day. Remember there was an orange smoke and stuff happening over there?
Oh, yeah. That was scary.
And, of course, it was a test, which is good because it means nobody was in the thing. But it does set them back because there are supposed to be astronauts in that thing. They were supposed to have them flying up in July. Now they've got to do some more tests to figure out what they can do to make sure that doesn't happen when there's actually somebody in there.
Good for them.
To
keep everybody safe.
A missing snorkeler. I don't know if this is the same story as we had yesterday. But this is the missing snorkeler has been found dead up near Destin in the Panhandle. It could be the same guy. I don't know. He was only 28 years old. Apparently went out snorkeling with his friends and just didn't make it back. So prayers for that family. A 6-month-old Rottweiler named Fifi. That's all you need to say.
That's
a
right.
6-month-old Rottweiler named Fifi got her head stuck in one of the holes of a cinder block. And she couldn't get it out. Nobody could get the dog's head, so they called the fire department.
Good for them.
They tried using soap and water, slip it back on. Nope, Fifi's head is stuck. So they got the jaws of life, and it burst open the cinder block, and the dog's okay.
Oh, thank God. That dog must have been traumatized.
That was in St. Johns County.
Oh, my God.
Meanwhile, in Bonita Springs,
yes,
fire and rescue down there had to rescue some ducklings that somehow went into the storm drain. The firefighter had to basically be upside down as he reached down to the water down below the street, where he was picking out the ducklings one at a time. Here's a couple of things that make this story a Disney story.
Okay.
The mama duck was running around the rescuers in circles, quacking, quacking, quacking the whole time.
Oh, my.
Just running around in circles. They couldn't get the little ducklings to come to them, so one of the firefighters had the idea to record the mama duck quacking. So they did. They lowered the phone playing the quacking sound, and the little ducklings came to it.
Oh, how cool.
Which is how they were able to grab those little ducklings and pull them out of the water. Isn't that the coolest thing?
How clever. That is so clever.
And you want to know how smart animals are? Listen to this. The mama duck wasn't happy until all of her ducklings were back. She knew how many ducklings were down there.
Yeah.
She had 8 of them.
Yeah, ducks know.
So when she saw 7,
Animals
she was still we still got one down there. Right?
Yes.
And then when they finally pulled the 8th one up, let's get out of here. And then they walked away.
Oh, my gosh.
They walked away.
Oh, my gosh.
But isn't it amazing that she knew this? So wait a minute. You know.
Yeah, there's one more.
What are they named? Winnie, Louie, and Huey, Dewey, and Louie?
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, what a great story. Both of those stories about Fifi and the ducklings. Boy, that could be a whole story.
I'm
you could have
saying.
Fifi and the ducklings.
Yeah.
Wow. No, animals are smart. And they, the parents of the babies knew how many are there.
Isn't that amazing, though?
Yeah, it's from God. It's intelligent design.
I thought, well, maybe she knew there was more than one. So when she had one out, she knew. And then 2 and 3, you think, okay, well, I don't know how many I had. How many did I have? And nope, she didn't stop quacking until all 8 were brought out.
Good for her. Good for her. That is something.
Now, if one of them had died or been flushed down the drain or something, right?
Yeah.
She probably would have still been quacking for a little while until she finally gave up and said, well, I guess he's gone, right?
Yeah, and then she would have taken the remainder away.
Now, there's a movie for you.
Oh.
Mama Duck, right? Just here's the scenario. Mama Duck, quack. The firefighters get 7 of them out. The 8th one is missing, and there's sad music.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Mama Duck walking away with her head down. Firefighters rubbing their faces. We couldn't do it. We didn't quite get it right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the other little duckling is not dead, but rather floating down to the River of Joy. Right? At the other end of the River of Joy is a little boy playing with a sailboat, a toy sailboat.
Yeah.
And here comes the little duck. Hey, little duck. Right? Playing with the little duck, right? Little duck stays with the family. Mom, Dad says, sure, you can keep him, right? Grows up, he names him Sammy, And then Sammy the duck is, like a teenage duck or whatever. All of a sudden, one day, he sees these other 7 teenage ducks and goes, wait a minute. They look familiar. So he goes over and runs and plays with them, right? And then the mama duck comes over and says, hey, Sammy, where have you been?
I love this.
There's the end.
Great story. This is a great story.
So
It's
those of you who know Robin and I
heartwarming.
write children's books, that's how they happen.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very happy, joy.
All right. The Internal Revenue Service is facing a deadline today to turn over President Trump's tax records. Earlier this month, House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Representative Richard Neal, who is a Democrat from the state of Massachusetts, ordered the agency to produce 6 years of Trump's personal and business tax documents or perhaps face a subpoena. Unlike previous presidents and many White House hopefuls, Trump has refused to make his tax returns public. My question is, what are they going to do when they find out? What business is it of mine to know anybody's tax returns, president or street cleaner?
Yeah.
What business is it of mine to know this stuff?
Yeah, how's it going to help the public? How is it going to help our country? We pay these immense salaries to these elected officials, and they're not doing their job by making our country better.
I think I have a phone call. Good morning, you're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Hey, Hugh.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Personal taxes it's a personal situation, and everybody should keep their noses out of everybody else's tax business, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was going to say earlier, you were talking about the payoff at the Kentucky Derby and how lucrative it is. And it is quite a big payoff sport, but boy, it doesn't come anywhere near golf. I looked up some stats on golf here not too long ago, and the Masters had a $11 million payoff. And since Tiger Woods has been a pro since 1996, he's made over $1.5 billion.
That's amazing. Wow. You know,
pardon?
I just wanted to say the one difference, and you're making a lot of sense, but the one difference is, in order to make that much money in golf, you have to be an athlete. Mm-hmm. In order to make that much money in horse racing, you just have to be rich. Just the horse has to be an athlete.
Yeah, and the jockey.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're gonna have to like horses to be a jockey, but even to sit on a horse for a little bit, that was a nice payoff too. But like you take Indianapolis racing or NASCAR racing, those guys make nice money, but nowhere near what golf is. So it's hard to believe that the purses are so high like that. And of course, I know the sponsorship is part of the payoff too, but it's unbelievable. And like I said, $1.5 billion since '96. That's unbelievable.
Wow, that is. Yeah, and I think sponsorship is everything. I think that's where all the money comes from. I don't think there's any other source. It's just sponsorship.
Yeah, I know, like on racing cars, you see all kind of advertising. That's one example. And of course, like the golfers, their caps or their shirts have the different symbols for the different people that are sponsoring them. So it's a lot of money, and for the average person like us that watch these sports and what the basketball and the baseball and the football players are making now, it's just I don't know. I think sports is. It's reached its peak, and I think it's going to fade away.
I don't know. Could be.
Because I know personally, like I'm getting away from pro sports of all kind, and I'm going right back down to high school and college. To me, that's where it all is.
This is when it's more exciting. Yeah, I think I've heard that from other people too.
Less political too.
I don't know, but there's some really diehard fans, like Galen with the Red Sox, my friend in New York with the Mets, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My friend down in Naples with the Dolphins, right? There's some real diehard fans, yeah.
Yeah, but the amount of money that these players are making, like in baseball and football, is unbelievable. Geez. It's a great sport, and their chances, especially like football, you got about 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 years if you're lucky, then you're done. But even still, it's if you're talented and you got the ability to do it, that's where you want to be, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. Why not do what you can do? Yeah.
Your passion.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
And I think people should be able to make as much money as they can. I don't even understand the whole dialogue that we should cap people's salaries.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you're upset about a football player making that much money, then don't support whatever it is they do. But I can guarantee, Galen would know this better than me, but the owner of the football team must be the one who really makes the money, or the owners.
Yeah, I would think
otherwise,
so.
how could they pay them? How could they pay them that much money if they didn't make that much more money?
Yeah.
And P.S. the value is there, because if that player is attracting an audience of millions and millions of people, and those millions and millions of people watching that game are interesting to an advertiser. So, somebody who sells beer or Kool-Aid or wristwatches or whatever, they say, oh, I want to show my wristwatch to those millions of people with one swoop. Okay, well, here's the dollar amount that'll cost you. And so that's where the money comes from. And I think if you have the ability to do that, then good for you. I don't see the whole dialogue about capping somebody's salary. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Even the thing with Disney yesterday, we had, I think, the granddaughter of Roy Disney not so happy with Bob Iger's salary.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah. I mean, it does seem uneven, and it does seem unfair to the workers who make, $8 an hour or whatever they make. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, those workers, they don't need to take that job. That's right. They or another way of looking at it is they could organize and unionize and have leverage in numbers, and say, hey, we'd like a little bit more money, please. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think we have a pretty good system here that I think all the talk about capping salaries and putting it in the hands of the government to make decisions about who makes what and who makes how much, or the trickle-down thing that they always talk about. Every single time we have somebody like that on the phone with us, I always say to them, well, I'm guessing you make more than me. Can I have some of your money? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, then you're on the same page as me, because I don't want it either.
That's right.
I want to be able to willingly help out other people. I don't want the government to force anybody to do anything with their money if they've earned it.
Exactly. Good point.
And P.S., earning money as a government employee doesn't seem to be capped either.
No.
I mean, those guys make more money than the average worker in town.
Yeah, Marion County Commissioners, they're pulling $80,000 a piece.
There you go. That's a good example. Good morning. You're on the air. Are you there?
Hey, Larry, are you there?
Hey, yeah.
Larry, I don't disagree with you. I don't know that anybody's asking for caps on people's salaries. I think the argument in America, and you did have a gentleman, I think last week on your radio show, an educated person who's also a writer, and it seemed to me, listening to your responses, you agreed with him. The concentration of wealth is very dramatic, probably now more than ever. How we approach that, I think, does rest in our hands as voters. And of course, I'm always going to side, kind of like Abraham Lincoln. He said labor was superior to capital, but I do know that capital requires investment so we can create more labor. So I'm not so blinded by the light. But I would share with the gentleman from Wisconsin that called about golf. I guess horse racing is a very labor intensive, and so when we see one successful horse, there's probably, who knows, 200 or 300 people behind that horse that help create that horse's life and capabilities, from the ranch and the feed and the hard work and the various trainers and you have to here in Marion County, you can see these operations are very serious and very labor intensive. But I would say, and I'll get out of your hair, but remember Rush Limbaugh, he makes $40 million a year. Good for him. His last contract was for 10 years. That's $500 million. And that all athletes that are millionaires are all playing for billionaires. So I really don't mind, like yourself, I don't mind people making a high living. I do think that they are making a lot of money, but both parties are. And you were right. The owners are making money. Otherwise, they would be paying the players. So, all right, Larry and Robin, you guys have a good day.
Hey, and good to hear from you, Mark. Thank you. Thank you for calling. All right, we are at the end. Let's take a break. Just to say one more thing about that, I think if you're making that much money and you're ethical, then you will raise the salaries of the people below you.
Yes, for
But
sure.
I don't think the government should force you to do that. That's up to you, because when you die, you got to face God.
That's right, exactly.
But in the meantime, I mean, and we've had stories. We've had stories of corporate heads and all that have said, you know what, let's make it a little bit better for the guy at the bottom. Mm-hmm. It happens. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. The Internal Revenue Service facing a deadline today over some of the president's records.
House Democrats want the IRS to hand over 6 years of President Trump's tax returns by close of business today or face a subpoena, setting up a potential legal battle that could go up to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. The Treasury Secretary has said he will follow the law. In Sri Lanka, a national day of mourning following deadly bombings.
Sri Lanka says 2 Islamist organizations are responsible for the Easter Sunday bomb attacks which killed over 300 people. The government has also revealed an initial investigation which suggests the terror bombings were in retaliation for the New Zealand mosque attacks. In the last few minutes, Islamic State has said it was behind the bombings, according to the group's Amaq news agency.
Sky News' Colin Brazier. This is Fox News.
Pros know getting the next job means doing this one right. On time and on budget. Lowe's is here to help by stocking the brands you trust to power through any job. Like Hitachi Power Tools, soon to be known as Metabo HPT. Same tools, same warranty, new name. We also stock the quantities of the supplies you use most. Buy in bulk and get additional savings on fence pickets, posts, and concrete every day. For your next job and every job after, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. See ProDesk for details.
This is your breakfast wake-up call from Panera Bread. Don't start your day with a greasy processed breakfast. At Panera, breakfast to go no longer means to settle. Wake up with their new maple glazed bacon, scrambled egg and cheese breakfast wrap. And pair it with their new Madagascar vanilla cold brew. All made 100% clean and ready to go with rapid pickup at the push of a button. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and that means compromising isn't an option. Panera, food as it should be.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. A Florida father chased down and shot a man who stole his car with his 6-year-old son inside. The 29-year-old suspect is in critical condition. The boy was not injured. Nearly 36 men and women have filed a federal class action lawsuit accusing authorities of unlawfully videotaping them as they received massages at the Orchids of Asia Day Spa in Palm Beach. SpaceX has suffered a serious setback to launch NASA astronauts after the fiery loss of its first crew capsule during testing over the weekend. A dive team has recovered the body of a tourist who went missing while snorkeling off a Florida Panhandle beach. Firefighters used the jaws of life to free a Rottweiler that got her head stuck in a cinder block in St. Johns County. 8 ducklings were rescued from a storm drain in Bonita Springs. And Disney is making changes to Rivers of Light. The nighttime show at Animal Kingdom will now feature characters from Disney nature films beginning May 24th. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Today will be a beautiful day. For Tuesday, lots of sunshine. The high 79 on the coast, but 86 inland. And Tuesday night, fair skies, lows in the mid to upper 50s inland, 63 along the coast. Another warm day on Wednesday with plenty of sunshine, high 83 at the coast, 88 inland. Thursday, partly sunny and very warm with a high of 84 at the coast, 89 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, I'm Kate. I became a comfort keeper so I could help care for seniors in my community. I enjoy spending time with them and helping them to live at home.
Being a comfort keeper is a rewarding and fulfilling career. Comfort keepers provide non-medical in-home care and companionship for seniors on a full or part-time basis.
Call 855-592-0013 to learn how to apply to the Comfort Keepers team.
Do something good for your career and for others. Be a comfort keeper. Comfort Keepers offices are independently owned and operated.
Broadcasting from the